Every paycheck reminds them that even after overtime, there's nothing to save. They need money. Look, the cash river is flowing. Jump in. So how does a girl who cannot even pronounce bonjour hand over $13,000 to a total stranger? Quota closing soon. Last seats. Consulates are corrupt. Hypocrisy. 12,000 euros. That's 13,000 US dollars, which is 400 bowls of pho, one bowl of pho every single day for a whole year. But that is a going scam rate that a visa agent demands for a golden ticket and a phony work visa to Europe. These visa agents swear that they can make over 4,000 euros a month being a chef at a 5-star hotel. Can you believe it? Thousands of Vietnamese people do. Spoiler alert, the victims end up slicing kebab in Bavaria at minimum wage and wire back every cent in order to pay the astronomical loan back home. Today, we're going to torch the fantasy, expose the visa agent scams in Vietnam, drag the embassies that rubber stamp the misery, and ask the question that no one wants to ask. Who is to blame? The visa agents, the embassies, or the desperate people that will believe anything when all they have is 5 million dong to feed their entire household? So strap in, because this ride is going to be risky and bumpy. My name is Ken Duong, international and California licensed business attorney with over 16 years of experience helping not only companies, but individuals live and invest all over the world. Today, I am exposing the Vietnam visa scam that no one wants to talk about because it needs to stop now. So let's get started. So let's start with the numbers and victims. Roughly 150,000 Vietnamese workers worked abroad in 2024. About 62% of those come from rural provinces and low-income family households that live off of 4 to 5 million VND per month. Not even 200 USD a month in order to cover family expenses, school uniforms, and hopefully nobody gets sick, especially the buffalo. Zoom in and you'll see the three main targets. First, young rural women who live in rural provinces whereby their families live off of 5 million VND per month. And they are the last hope for their families to have a better future. Thus, they feel responsibility and social pressure. The parents grow rice. Harvest money never stretches very far. On Facebook and TikTok, they see girls their age posing in front of the Eiffel Tower. No German, no French, just a simple thought. Anything beats 5 million a month, and it helps the family. So who could really blame them? Second, victims. Factory workers in Bình Dương and Đồng Nai who pull off 10-hour shifts and making 6 million VND per month. They wire half of it back to their families that still live on dirt roads. Every paycheck reminds them that even after overtime, there's nothing to save. Third, debt-strapped jobless graduates with no real degree. Then a TikTok video screams, France needs warehouse workers, 3,000 euros a month. Warehouse work suddenly seems glamorous. Common denominator, they need money. None of them speak a European language. None of them have ever filled out a Schengen visa form or even know what a Schengen contract looks like. And no particular skills that can be used in Europe. Yet, every one of them thinks that they can clear 4,000 euros a month just because somebody's uncle's neighbor's cousin bought an iPhone after they went to Europe. But nobody ever told them that the Europeans do not even make that much, and they are natives who speak the language and have more skills. But why do migrants believe they can earn that much? Remittances hit $16 billion last year. Visa agents push this headline into every single presentation. Look, the cash river is flowing. Jump in. They never mention all the drownings. So let's do the math. Minimum wage in France net is 1,500 euros a month. A German kitchen helper nets after taxes about 1,500 euros a month. In Netherlands, a greenhouse worker nets about 1,550 euros a month. Now compare that to a 12,000 euro upfront fee that scammers are asking them. The International Labor Organization says any recruitment fee above 1 month's salary is considered exploitation. These immigrants pay 1 whole year upfront. Exploitation? This is practically a subscription plan. So how does a girl who cannot even pronounce bonjour hand over $13,000 to a total stranger? The scam starts with a whisper. A cousin posts, heading to Europe, pray for me. A Zalo group that posts, lương cao châu Âu, high salary EU. Inside sits your friendly visa agent and 200 dreamers. No hotels, no seminars, not even croissants. The pitch is blunt. 300 million dong. Pay this week, file next week. Germany, France, Netherlands, Hungary, your pick. Job guaranteed, 3,000 to 4,000 euros a month. Don't worry, you'll pay the loan off in a year. Easy. Hesitate and the visa agent drops a magic line. Quota closing soon, last seats. Fear of missing out does half the work and hopelessness finishes the job. And funding the fantasy hurts more than the scam itself. Father pawning off mother's wedding gold, selling the Yamaha that is still on a finance plan, a career loan at 24% APR, collateral, the last piece of farmland. The bank officer prints the contract faster than a sugarcane juicer. Once a visa agent gets the money, they come up with fake offers in Germany and France and other European countries. And then somehow they come up with documents that show a cheese factory in rural France hires 50 Vietnamese chefs. Then the same visa agent submits a files to the private visa application center, paid per submission. Staff scan passports, collect fees, and hand over documents to the consular officer. By the time an actual consular officer reviews the documents, it looks perfect. Job contract? Check. Housing? Check. Insurance? Check. The requirements are all met. The visas are issued. The scam hides in plain sight. A few months later, the plane lands in Germany. The promised chef position is slicing kebabs at 11 euros an hour. At night, dishwashing at a holiday park. Days off? None, until all the interest stops growing. If you think I'm exaggerating, meet Poland. In 2023, Polish media uncovered a cash for visas network within the foreign ministry, whereby middlemen in Asia and Africa were collecting up to $5,000 per head, bribed officials, and issued 250,000 work visas. Visas issued to many that never stepped foot in Poland. Headlines: Visa Factory, Poland's illegal gateway. The foreign minister resigned, and the investigation still rolls. So no, not all consulates are corrupt. Far from it. We work with many consulates and they are great. That is not the issue. Some are simply, to say it diplomatically, are chronically understaffed, and visa agents exploit this gap like a plumber finding a burst pipe. So here's the game. Consulates outsource data entry, biometrics, and document vetting to the private contractor. The contractor's KPI is speed. The consulate officers is quotas. Nobody's KPI is to verify whether that kebab shop actually exists. Outsourcing isn't inherently evil, but here are the results. Consulates rubber stamping misery and then washing their hands clean because every requirement looked legit. Contrast the US consulate in Saigon. 70% of files are rejected, including tourist and student visas. Cruel? Maybe, especially when you have totally legitimate applications being rejected. But if you have a fake job offer, somebody will Google map the factory gate and ring up the HR desk before noon. EU posts? Maybe they're too busy chasing labor shortage targets to do a reverse image search. But wait, some internet warriors scream, you're promoting foreign investors moving to Vietnam while Vietnamese workers flee. Hypocrisy. Nice soundbite, zero logic. There's no contradiction in encouraging people to move to Vietnam while the Vietnamese want to move abroad. In fact, this is a sign that Vietnam is becoming a globally connected society, one where talent, capital, and ambition moves both ways. Many Vietnamese migrate to countries like the US, Australia, or Canada to pursue education, stability, and career growth. And you can't stop them from migrating for financial reasons. And at the same time, thousands of foreigners and Vietkios are moving back to Vietnam to invest, build businesses, and have a better quality of life at a more accessible cost. This is not a paradox. Those are two different groups of people, and this is the natural evolution of an open economy. We invite CEOs to Bắc Giang to open up factories, transfer technology, and hire local staff. Visa agents ship out unskilled workers at a 24% APR debt. Apples and durians. My role and that of Duong Global is to help people move with purpose, not to chase a passport or a headline, but to align their goals with their location, legally and strategically. As of right now, Vietnam is a platform, not just a destination. South Korea sent coal miners to Germany and lured General Motors to Seoul in 1 decade. 40 years later, they are selling Hyundais all over the world and BTS concert tickets. It's not about migration, it's about predatory middlemen. Well, we spend a lot of time outside. Let's hop back into the office. By the way, 80% of you watching this rant are not subscribed to our channel. Doing to this channel like loan sharks, taking value and giving nothing back. Smash that red button, ring that bell, and send this rant to all the Zalo groups that says đi châu Âu or going to Europe. You might say someone $500 million dong or 10 years of regret. At this point, we don't know who to blame first. The visa agents that peddle fantasies and scam the gullible, the consulates that rubber stamp the misery, or the gullible souls who hand over their life savings because hope is better than doing arithmetic. So what can be done? Good news, it doesn't take a PhD in thermonuclear physics to solve the problem. First, to embassies and consulates, stop hiding behind limited resources. Hire fraud prevention units, ring employers, and cross-match sponsored letters. And note that working hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. in the real world, not from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. If the same kebab shop hires 300 Vietnamese workers in the same week, make sure that you raise a flag as high as the Brandenburg Gate and enforce EU Directive 2014/36 that allows for member states to fine illegal workers up to 60,000 euros for fake workers and force them to pay back wages. Second, to Vietnamese regulators, blacklist the visa agents that are charging more than 1 month of the promised wages, publish that list online in English and Vietnamese, and freeze their assets upon the first violation. Then publish the government zero-fee program on all the village loudspeakers until even the chickens know that it's free. Another fix is to give the job to licensed attorneys. Doctors need a license to prescribe medicine. Architects need a license in order to draw the line on the balcony. Why can any random hustler sell visas? Make immigration assistance a restricted legal service, handled by lawyers that can lose their bar license for forging a document or make fake job postings in Europe. Come on, people, it's not rocket science. We have learned 2 ugly truths. 1, poverty bulletproofs people from common sense. 2, institutions that are meant to protect the vulnerable sometimes open the doors wider. If embassies tighten their filters, if those visa agents are put behind bars, scams survive where dreams outrun due diligence. They suffocate when truth comes first. This rant is necessary and the scam needed to be exposed. This is purely educational and not legal advice. But if you need a roadmap to get your Vietnam visa or your wife's spousal visa to Europe or the US legally, reach out to our attorneys and we'll be happy to help you. So what do you think? Should embassies verify employers with video calls and years of financial background checks like we do in the US? Should Vietnam ban visa agents? Should the EU fine employers 60,000 euros for every fake hire? Let us know your fix in the comments below. Let's crowdsource answers and shove it under the nose of the people involved in these scams, because it has to stop. So on behalf of Duong Global, my name is Ken Duong. Thank you very much for watching this video and I'll see you on the next one.